Vogel will be coach for 1 year, and then they're going to give the job to Kidd. Kidd is there to stick a knife in Vogel's back. That's why you hire Jason Kidd in this situation, because he is going to take the job from that head coach. This is a dysfunctional franchise. Jeannie, really bad decision after a series of bad decisions. Love Jeannie Buss, but this is and the Buss family. But this is the reality. Bad decision. She's getting advice, if it is from Linda Rambis, by someone who
Kurt Rambis,
who seems to be getting the opinions from Kurt Rambis, who does not seem to understand the modern NBA. And was a terrible head coach, 99 games under 500, had bad, and it's not just that, it was a result of bad ideas, like misusing Kristaps Porzingis with the Knicks and other things. Neither one is going to help the Lakers win a championship. First, I want to get to your developmental point about Jason Kidd. You're right. Jason Kidd, Mark Jackson falls into this category. I liken them to Buck Showalter in a certain way in the Major League Baseball, the manager. There are guys who are great at developing young players, instilling confidence, getting them to kind of thinking outside the box in terms of how to use them and bringing them along. The Greek Freak probably wouldn't be where he is today without Jason Kidd. Putting the ball in his hands, making him a point guard, all those things. And in fact, a very smart executive made that point to me last week. So Kidd as a developmental guy, sure. The problem is Stephen A. Vogel's also basically a developmental guy, just in a different way. The way Vogel's a developmental guy is he'll get your team to play defense. So the Lakers will be a much improved defensive team next year with Vogel as the head coach. But then they're going to have to reset when Kidd takes it, offensively not as much. They're going to have to reset after Kidd takes his job the year after that, and LeBron is a year older if LeBron is still there.
Yeah,
and then Kidd will be brought in
Go ahead. Keep going.
to develop Lonzo Ball, right? So you have one guy to get your defense a certain place, one guy to develop your young players. By that time, LeBron's contract's mostly over if he's still there, and you ain't going to win a championship.
That's what I want to know. How does LeBron feel about this?
Well, first let me say this. Giannis was drafted the year before Kidd arrived.
Yeah, but he made him a point guard, sort of.
He's credited with making Giannis to some degree into what he is. How does LeBron feel about this? LeBron, the mentality is that he's somewhat indifferent to it all. His camp goes out of their way to say he's had nothing to do with the coaching search. He doesn't want to have anything because he detests when people blame him, trying to act like he's controlling and pulling strings and things of that nature. Having said all of that, here's what the bottom line is. Ty Lue was offered a 3-year deal. From what I was told, LeBron's belief is very, very simple. I put you in position to get the job. I was all for you getting the job. They offered you the job because they know I wanted you to have the job. And you turned it down. I understand it was 3 years, but the bottom line is that even though it was 3 years and that may have been unfair, you come in, you wreak havoc, we win. Guess what? You position yourself to get an extension or move on to a better opportunity. What's the problem? Because I got 3 years left, really 2 with an option, but I got that time left. You could have come here. And so, in other words, he's not blaming. Everybody understands why Ty Lue turned it down, because you can't be a championship coach and somebody allows you to pick your staff. Larry Brown once told me, the great Larry Brown who coached the Sixers and coaches the Detroit Pistons to the title, by the way, that Larry Brown said to me, you're finished before you even start if you don't get to pick your staff.
That's the way it see. The 3 years I understand. To me, if I'm the Lakers or if I was advising Ty Lue, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I get it. Listen, they're linking you to LeBron. He's got 3 years left. You got 3 years left. Maybe get him to get the money up a little bit to offset it, but whatever. The thing that's a deal breaker for me, if I'm Ty Lue, and he's smart to turn it down, actually, is they're picking the staff. Again, the presence of Jason Kidd means they do not plan on you serving out those 3 years. Not only is it a 3-year deal, but they're going to replace you. And let me say something about Jason Kidd. The reason I don't think he takes you to the next level, though he can develop young players, is he also seems to me to have some bad ideas with the Bucks. For example, we're going to fight over every screen. In a point guard league like the NBA is now, you get torched. And not only that, you're running your guys into the ground. It didn't work.
I'm not going to get
the defense didn't work.
I'm not going to get into all of that. One of the things I will tell you is this. It's not stabbing Vogel in the back because Vogel knew exactly what he was walking into, because that was a condition under which he took the job. So that's not stabbing you in the back if you know that that's what you're walking into.
Question.
He knows.
This is what I mean.
He knows.
This is what I mean. Whatever the stipulations are, Jason Kidd comes in to be the chief guy on your staff. Is his every thought from day one, I'm going to take that dude's job, yes or no?
Yes, but that's not the point. Again, it's not stabbing him in the back. In other words, they're saying to you, you don't have any opportunities.
It's in the front.
It's in the front.
You don't have
any opportunities. You know what time it is.
Fine, in the front.
And that's what it is.
Yep.